the Wisconsin Badgers are in their 17th NCAA tournament, but the first time since 2007. As for UWM, they won the Horizon League tournament, getting themselves an automatically qualified bid here. They're in their 10th NCAA tournament, but looking for their first win. As we take a look at these two teams playing head-to-head, Wisconsin leading the overall series 24-5, including a matchup earlier this year back in September. The Badgers won that one in 4 sets.
And UWM, their last win against Wisconsin all the way back in 1999. So they've got a little bit of an uphill battle, especially on the road this evening.
And the head coach for the UWM Panthers, the great Susie Johnson, in her 7th season as the head coach of the Panthers. She has a 137-70 record, 5-time league coach of the year. Scott, she is unbelievable.
Exactly. She's coached her team to 5 regular season titles, 4 league tournament crowns, and 4 NCAA tournament berths. That's as a head coach. She's also been at UWM at 17 years total, as well as an assistant coach, so she knows what she's doing, and she certainly knows her Panthers.
And on the other side, Kelly Sheffield in his first year as a Wisconsin coach, a 23-9 mark, but he is no newbie to the big-time games. He had 5 years at Dayton and 6 at Albany, going to the NCAA tournament a whole host of times there, Scott.
You said it. He's led his teams to 9 NCAA tournament appearances, and he's really helped his Badgers team improve on that token as well. They've won 6 more matches in the last season and have 8 more wins in Big Ten play. So he knows the NCAA tournament, but just like Johnson, he knows his team as well.
A great crowd here in the field house this evening as the Wisconsin Badgers starters getting introduced. We have a great match ahead of us, and the winner has a date with California tomorrow as they, Scott, pulled an upset against North Carolina earlier today.
You said it. It was even in a lot of statistics, but one that stuck out was blocking. It was pretty dominating performance by Cal at the net. So if you're watching these teams tonight, just keep in mind that tomorrow they've got to face a Cal team that's very strong at the net and will certainly be tough to beat. But first and foremost, these teams have to win tonight to get that chance to play the Golden Bears.
Looking at these two teams on paper, they are just about identical in every category, but where you have to give the Wisconsin Badgers the edge is that strength of schedule. They went through the grueling Big Ten Conference and came out tied for 4th. Now, you can't take anything away from UWM. They dominated the Horizon League. They claimed their 9th Horizon League regular season title in the past 11 years, and that was a turnaround from the 4-10 conference record that they had last year, went on to win their tournament, and that's how they got here today.
You said it. And so looking at the keys to this matchup real quick before we get underway for Wisconsin, get ahead early. You've got the home court advantage. This is a great I-94 rivalry. Keep the crowd in it as much as possible here at home and continue to be aggressive. That's what they're known for, especially in serving the ball. It's obvious, but Wisconsin is 22-4 when hitting a higher hitting percentage than their opponents. Very important they do so today.
Taking a look at the starting lineups for the Badgers, it is led by Lauren Carlini, then Courtney Thomas, Anne-Marie Hickey, Demi Morales, Haley Nelson, Dominique Thompson, and Ellen Chapman. For the Milwaukee Panthers, Maisie Mulvey, Taylor Golubowski, Kayla Price, Nicole Ladsick, Rachel Newberger, Julie Kalinsky. And we are underway, and the Wisconsin Badgers getting the first point to start this first set off.
And, you know, for UWM, just finishing the keys for their side of things, get ahead early if you can. Take the crowd out of it conversely. And on the other side of things, they have to catch the Badgers out of system as much as possible. They get a point right there. They led the Horizon League with 13.72 kills per set, while Wisconsin led the Big Ten with 15.82 digs per set. So obviously, Matt, in this one, something has got to give between these teams.
A great start for both these teams. We are at 1 apiece, and UWM on the serve. And there's Ellen Chapman, and she sends that one home. Ellen Chapman, the 6'4 junior outside hitter for the Wisconsin Badgers. She is having one great season for the Badgers.
You said, and that all started with Anne-Marie Hickey, the sole senior for the Badgers, getting a nice dig on the serve that hit the net. She's receiving serves at 97.4% on the season. She's certainly been a strong addition to this team, especially as that senior leader.
Mayana Reese on the kill there, and that is going to be a point for the Panthers. And Mayana Reese only 5'8", but she does go up and play in the front line. And when you look at the other side for the Wisconsin Badgers, they too have another short outside hitter in Demi Morales at 5'7", the shortest outside hitter in the entire Big Ten.
That certainly doesn't stop her, though. Has a 32-inch vertical, and that helps her not only get the ball over the net, but generate a lot of power as well. The other thing to look at for Demi Morales, likes to get top spin on her serves, is a very aggressive server for a strong team. And the Badgers that like to get those service aces.
Both Reese and Morales going to be key factors in their team's successes today. And there's going to be a whistle and a line violation. That is going to be a point for UWM, and they have taken an early 3-2 lead here.
Now, Wisconsin, they're known for being an aggressive team, so they're going to make some service errors. They're not going to hit always the highest hitting percentage. But those are errors you can't avoid. You know, the net violation, line violation, that's what you can't afford if you're the Badgers, especially at home in an NCAA tournament game.
A big-time kill by Courtney Thomas right there. Not a whole lot that the defense could do by UWM right there, and the Wisconsin Badgers have leveled this one up.
Courtney Thomas doesn't lead the team in any statistical categories, but is near the top with everything. She's an all-around player. Had an abdominal injury earlier in the season, but ever since has really come on strong and been a vocal leader for this Badger squad.
That one's going to find the line, and UWM back on top as Nicole Latzing is going to sub back into this game. And it's Taylor Golubowski, the libero for Milwaukee, on the serve there, and that is going to be a point for the Badgers. Dominique Thompson with the kill.
Dominique Thompson's third on the team. She has 2.51 kills per set, has hit 317 matches as well, so a very important player. We're going to mention both sides of the net for both these squads. Dominique Thompson is certainly an important member of that squad for the Badgers.
Not a whole lot that Courtney Thomas could do on that one. That was UWM, I believe, Nicole Latzig on the kill there.
Latzig fourth on the team in kills, so no surprise to see her get one there. Second on the team in blocks as well. She's a big presence at the net for the Panthers.
And the Badgers get another point there. On the serve for Milwaukee was the setter, Kayla Price. Two very good setters in this matchup today. Price, a 5'9" sophomore. She was all Horizon League, led the entire conference in assists with 996, and had a great game the last time that she played the Badgers. 38 assists and 11 digs on top of that in the losing effort. But you take a look at the other side, and when you mention setters, Scott, Lauren Carlini has got to be one of the first that comes to your mind. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year, an all Big Ten selection, obviously a member of that all Big Ten freshman team as well. She has had a great season for the Badgers, and a big reason why they're sitting here in this position today.
You said it, she's the #1 recruit, turned, as you said, Big Ten Freshman of the Year for, this Badger squad that, certainly didn't have a bad season last year, but they've really been an improved squad at the net, and it all starts with your setter, and that's Lauren Carlini. Talking to Kelly Sheffield earlier in the season, one thing he really likes about Carlini is how much film she watches. She wants to be a better teammate, wants to learn about her team just as much as she learns about the other side. So Kelly Sheffield, the head coach, said she watches more film as a freshman than I've seen any other player in my tenure coaching women's volleyball. So credit to Carlini, a strong player at the net, but it all starts with her preparation, and that's why she was a #1 recruit and continues to be a strong player.
Mayana Reese on that last miss hit. And there was Carlini with a fancy little hit over the net.
Forces a free ball over for a chance for Wisconsin.
Ellen Chapman with the big-time tool, and the Wisconsin Badgers open up a 2-point lead here early in the first set.
Chapman leads the team with 3.43 kills per set. Also leads the team in service aces, so another player that's capable of doing a lot of different things for this team. The Badgers have a lot of players that are like the 5-tool player like you get in baseball.
Carlini getting the block on that one. Usually not her forte, but that just goes to show you she can do it all on the shorter Reese. The Wisconsin Badgers lead 9-6. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Fieldhouse, let's take a look at this last block by Lauren Carlini.
Again, number 1 recruit coming in, just in great position. The Badgers were in system. The 2 freshmen together at the net, Haley Nelson, Lauren Carlini, just rising right when they needed to, were in system, and ultimately just a nice point for the 2 freshmen combining together on the block.
A big-time block right there gives the Badgers a 3-point lead, but UWM with the answer and have cut the lead to just 2.
Ladsig conversely finds a hole there in the Badgers defense, who, again, were in system there, but just a nice job by Ladsig, good vision down the court and getting a point for the Panthers.
Here is Latzig with the serve. It is handled easily by Hickey and Ellen Chapman on the kill attempt, but it is dug out by the Panthers. And a nice shot by Reese there, just kind of floating it over the net, and it finds a dead zone in the Badger defense. UWM on a 2-point run here.
Exactly. Nice job by UWM coming out of the timeout, getting 2 points, and they're right back in this one. We're never out of it, but back within 1.
And here come the Panthers again. They have it in system. And Haley Nelson on the block, and that one is a big-time block by the now block. She's just set the record, the school record that is, for all-time blocks in a single season.
You said it. She's 7th in the Big Ten in blocks with 1.1%, so you expect to see it from her. Again, only a freshman for this Badger squad.
A little bit of confusion there by both teams, but the Badgers able to keep that play alive. Here's Chapman, again handled by the Panthers. And another miss hit, but Carlini is going to set it up for the back row hitter in Morales. And that one goes wide by Reese. And the Wisconsin Badgers get another point. It seems to me, Scott, that a lot of this offense right now is going through Mayana Reese, and she has had some big plays early on. That one, just a miss hit by her.
You said it. She's 2nd on the team in digs, 3rd on the team in kills. She's another player that can do it all for her squad, but you said it, just a little bit off, maybe a little too hyped up for this one. Again, it's a rivalry between these teams. It doesn't need to be an NCAA tournament game for these 2 teams to be excited about playing.
Mayana Reese, another one of those excellent freshmen. She actually was a Horizon League all-freshman team player. But the Wisconsin Badgers get the best of her on that one, and they have a 5-point lead. 13-8, we're going to step away, but when we come back, more volleyball action here on the Big Ten Network. Welcome back to the Fieldhouse here in Madison, Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Badgers, a 13-8 lead over the Milwaukee Panthers here in this first round volleyball matchup. Lauren Carlini on the serve, and another miss hit by Reese. That's another freshman mistake. We've seen a couple of them for her. And now subbing into the game is going to be Sammy Herron for Reese. No real surprise there, Scott. She's struggled in the last couple possessions.
You said it, and credit to Carlini. She's now solo 2nd on the team with 25 service aces on the season. We'll see what she can do with this serve. She's got it 2 in a row.
Gets another one. This Wisconsin Badger team very aggressive from the service line. Another service ace that you can mark up to their tally, and a big one by Lauren Carlini.
When this Wisconsin team is aggressive on their serves and they get a lot of them to fall, they are a very dangerous team, very difficult to beat.
And that second hit just a bit off for the Panthers, and the Wisconsin Badgers on a bit of a run here. They have now opened up a 16-8 lead over the Milwaukee Panthers early in set 1.
And aggressive serving isn't just about getting the ace. It's doing just that, getting the team out of system so that Haley Nelson at the net can get an easy kill right down the center on the motion W. Credit to Carlini with the serve, and then finished up by Haley Nelson, another freshman at the net.
Finding the soft spot there, Haley Nelson, an all-freshman team player for this Wisconsin Badgers, as this serve goes long. But Scott, you can say that Lauren Carlini earned that one. She did her job from the service line.
You said it, and we've been talking a lot about freshmen in this one, and that's in large part because both these squads only have one senior on the court. For Milwaukee, it's Rachel Newberger, who leads the team in blocks and hitting percentage. And then on the other side of things, you have the libero for Wisconsin, Anne-Marie Hickey, the sole senior. They do have another in Yuli Mickelson, but she's out this season with a medical red shirt, a broken foot. So for both these squads, usually you hear broadcasters or anybody or head coaches talking about another ace here, talking about, the senior leaders need to step up. Well, in this case, there aren't many senior leaders, only 2 to be exact on the entire court. So that's why the freshmen, especially Carlini and Nelson on the Badger side of things, are really stepping up early and getting a lot of points for the Badgers at home. A
lot of youth, but a lot of talent with that youth, and both teams are very happy with the play of their young players. UWM responding right there in a point that they desperately needed. And now subbing back into the game is Reese, as well as Julie Kalinsky for UWM.
And Reese is one of those freshmen for UWM who, as you said, Matt, has struggled thus far, but they really need her to step up. Again, in the absence of several senior leaders, you look to some of your younger players as well to make plays for you, and that's where Reese has so far struggled, but certainly is capable of getting a lot better as we go on in this match.
Mayana Reese has played well down the stretch in the title game against Valparaiso. She had a double-double, 12 kills and 14 digs, so it's not as if the stage is too big for her, maybe just some jitters here, but she'll settle into it, and I'm sure that she'll recover.
And she was the Horizon League all-freshman team member as well, so she's had a great season like you mentioned, Matt. So again, it's a big rivalry. You can be a little overhyped up at times. Look for these teams to try and settle down a little bit. So that being said, a nice first set here by Wisconsin, now extending their lead to 10.
Anne-Marie Hickey now at the service line for the Wisconsin Badgers. A hard serve coming over the net, but it is handled by Milwaukee. And a person's name who we have not called very much, Rachel Newberger, the Horizon League Player of the Year, getting the kill on that one.
Again, the lone senior, really the senior leader for UW Milwaukee. They'll need her to step up more. You said it. She's been quiet thus far.
Lauren Carlini, nice job handling that one. UWM's able to handle the return.
A little miscommunication at the net there. Lucky for UWM to just get it over.
Wow, what a job keeping it up for UWM. They get some cheers from their fans, but Courtney Thomas is unrelenting. But UWM is saying not so fast, Scott. They were not giving up easily.
The towel girl was already on the court. She had to run up. What a great rally between these teams. This is what this rivalry is all about.
And Carlini setting up Morales. We've seen it so many times this year, and it was just too much for the Panthers to handle on that one. The Wisconsin Badgers, a big point.
Far away now from taking the first set, and this first set is very important. Because of the rivalry, you want to get that first set, especially if you're the Badgers at home. Don't want to give it up to the Panthers here. Another nice serve. They've just been keeping the Panthers out of system so far and keeping the crowd in it here at the historic Fieldhouse.
The Wisconsin Badgers, as you can say for just about any volleyball team, play much better once they've got that first set win under their belts. They're much calmer, much more relaxed, much more free in their system, and it would be very crucial if they could pull this one out. Now just 3 points away from doing so.
The Badgers are 15-4 when they win the first set.
And that's Lauren Carlini again in on the blocks here. She's 6'2", definitely has some good height, and you can tell she is hyped up, not shying away from the big stage whatsoever. Courtney Thomas now third on the team in aces after Carlini had a couple her last time at the line.
Another free ball over for the Badgers coming off the serve. And UWM is struggling as a result of that, and the Badgers have been in much better position than UWM as a result. And that being said, just like that, it's a set point.
And Coach Johnson drawing something on her whiteboard, letting her team know the formations that she wants to come up here, and they desperately need a point. But Demi Morales says no. The Wisconsin Badgers taking the first set 25-11 in great fashion here. We are going to step away, but when we come back, the second set of this first round matchup. Welcome back to the field house here in Madison, Wisconsin, as the Badgers topped the University of Milwaukee Panthers 25-11 in that first set. I'm Matt Stone. Sitting next to me is Scott Memel. And Scott, why don't you take us through some of the key stats of the first set?
You said it, a little bit of a tongue twister there, set stats. Anyway, for Wisconsin, what really sticks out first is team blocks. They have 4-0 for UWM. The other that really sticks out is 5 service aces for Wisconsin, and it's not just been the service aces for the Badgers. Really, UWM's been out of position, out of system, has really struggled to return most of the serves by the Badgers thus far. It's not to be unexpected. The Badgers are a very aggressive serving team, but for UWM to come back in this one, need to be solid, just digging out that first ball over the net. And just looking at Reese, really one of their defensive specialists, one of their outside hitters who's been getting a lot of opportunities thus far. 3 receive errors thus far in this one. Only a freshman, but she's shown a lot of positive aspects throughout the regular season. All Horizon League, as a freshman, needs to step up here. 3 receive aces, not going to get it done on the road. Usually a very reliable target. Second on the team in digs, and Mayana Reese finds herself on the bench to start this second set. She is sitting in there. I didn't see her. She was hiding behind one of her taller teammates. And she was part of the reason the Badgers just got a service ace there. Couldn't handle the serve once again. Badgers doing a nice job at the service line. And it continues. The Wisconsin Badgers doing exactly what they like to do from the service line. And they're going to get another point right there. And here it goes, Scott. If the Panthers can't figure something out quickly, they are going to be in a world of hurt. Here's Carlini, who's been so successful from the service line so far today. Already 4 service aces, and that one just a little bit too hot to handle there. UWM finally gets on the board here. And for UWM, it's certainly not a situation to panic. Yes, the first set didn't go well, losing 25-11, but you're only down 1 set. You're in a hostile environment. Just need to settle into this one, try and pick up the second set. Wisconsin has won the first set in the past. They've lost 4 matches where they won the first set and were unable to carry on from there. Milwaukee, not time to panic, still very much in this one. But, Scott, you must admit the Wisconsin Badgers look like the more dominating presence out there right now. UWM is struggling, returning anything that Wisconsin's throwing their way, and they are going to need to tighten their ship up a little bit if they want to right this storm. Here come the Badgers. Ellen Chapman trying to dig that one out. Now Demi Morales just playing it back over to her team. Nice job by the Badgers, but UWM getting the free ball over the net. And Scott, that is so deadly. Anytime that you have a free ball, it gives the other team the opportunity for an easy kill attempt like we saw right there. Exactly. Kayla Price, the Horizon All-League team member, right at the net. She leads the team in assists, but she's able to score some points as well. Just a pretty simple kill, like you said, from the free ball by the Badgers. And the Panthers are glad to have Kayla Price back. She had to take a medical red shirt last year due to a hand injury, but coming back leading the Horizon League in assists in her season return. Here are the Badgers trying to open up a bit of a lead here. Demi Morales, but it's handled well by UWM. Oh, but just a tough one right there by Julie Kalinsky, trying to make a play on that one, but just a little bit too much spin on that ball, and it goes into the net. You said it might have went off the side of her wrist. You don't really see that from Kalinsky, the Horizon League tournament, all-tournament team member, all-league team as well. Leads the team in kills with 338. A little bit of a mistake there, just went off the side of her wrist and couldn't capitalize. Anne-Marie Hickey on the serve there. And Dominique Thompson just subbed back into the game. Carlini just getting a hand underneath that one, but the Badgers can't score as Demi Morales hitting that one into the net. But Lauren Carlini, just the flat palm on the floor, getting that one up. Unbelievable play by the freshman. And credit to the senior leader on the other side of things for the Panthers, staying with the play as well, not giving up on it. Noticing that the ball was still in play and getting an easy kill at the net as a result of a misplay by the Badgers, albeit a nice one by Lauren Carlini. Here comes UWM trying to level the score here. Morales just hitting that one over and finding the dead zone. 3 Panthers all looking at each other, waiting for someone to converge on it, and that cannot happen, especially when you're playing a team as deadly as the Badgers. And Demi Morales using all of her 32-inch vertical there. Didn't have to kill it as hard as she could, just a little bit of finesse down the center of the court. Again, good vision by Demi.
A lot of times the finesse play just as good, if not better than the power play. Again, exemplified right there on the tip.
And credit to UWM, now down only 1 point, staying in this second set, not letting the Badgers get too far ahead. We're down 2 early on, but now UWM trying to work their way back into it.
Maggie Dunbar subbing into this game for Maddie Schmitz, and Dunbar has been having a very good season as of late. She hadn't really secured a starting spot in this lineup until early November, but ever since she was inserted into that lineup, she has played well. She's had double-figure kills in her last straight matches, never hitting below 281 in any of those, and that was good enough to earn her all the tournament MVP for the Horizon League tournament.
You said it. On that previous play, once again, Ruiz couldn't handle the ball, just went right out of bounds. Certainly been a tough one so far for Ruiz. Only a freshman. Can be an intimidating environment, though. She's seen it before. These two teams have played earlier in the season, granted all the way back in September. But for Reese, I don't want to mispronounce her name, for Reese, it's been a struggle thus far. Needs to, as you said earlier, right the ship and try and get back into this one for her Panthers.
The Wisconsin Badgers now leading 7-4. Ellen Chapman trying to make it 8. Dominique Thompson, a good job of keeping that one in the air, and Morales just sending a free ball over for UWM, and let's see how they respond. Dominique Thompson says, "I don't think so," sending it back, and the UWM Panthers now find themselves in a 4-point hole. They are going to take a timeout, and we will as well when we come back. The more of this second set, the Wisconsin Badgers up 4. Things are getting hot here in the field house. The Wisconsin Badgers leading the Milwaukee Panthers 8-4. They already took the first set 25-11. I'm Matt Stone, sitting next to me, Scott Memel. Scott, what have you noticed? Why are the Wisconsin Badgers able to extend their lead?
Well, I was about to say that their serving's been great. Demi Morales with an error there, but by and large, 5 service errors. I believe now 6 for the Badgers. It hasn't just been those service aces. I don't want to say that that's been the entirety of this one. It's been the fact that really UWM's been out of system on several serves by the Badgers. And again, that's to be expected. Kelly Sheffield prides his team and prides himself as a coach on being very aggressive, especially at the service line. The Badgers, one of the best teams in the Big Ten in terms of service aces. It's just kept UWM really on their toes the whole time, and it's been Wisconsin dictating the pace rather than the Panthers who are coming on the road. Maisie Mulvey starting way back on her serve. She gets it over and it's handled by the Badgers, but Carlini just has to send a free one over to the Panthers, and oh man, miscommunication by the Badgers there. Dominique Thompson thinking that one of her teammates was going to go for it until the last second. And UWM, not so fast, Scott. They are now back in this one, just down 1. Another great timeout by the Panthers. 2 straight points for them, working their way, as you said, right back into it. But that's what you can't do. Again, you see it a lot with the Badgers. They're an aggressive serving team. The Panthers just did the same thing. A service error, that just kills any momentum you have going forward. And the typical rotation for the Wisconsin Badgers, Dominique Thompson subbing out KT Kavas, subbing in for him. Kavas, the
backup setter on this team. She's also a defensive specialist and an expert server as she sends one over the net. UWM trying to get something going here, but the Badgers playing very good defense. And a tool by Ellen Chapman. That was off the arm of Nicole Latzig, and the Wisconsin Badgers getting the point right back.
Nice job by Chapman, seeing where the defenders were and then killing to her right to their left, and as a result, as you say, goes right off the arm of Latzig.
A very nice play, and Kavas sends that one just long, as Nicole Latzig will now step up to the service line. Taylor Golubowski, the libero, subbing out. And that one goes long too. Back-to-back service errors for UWM. And Scott, you said it earlier, you just can't have that, especially when you're already trailing in this match.
And especially when the Badgers are doing the same thing. You have an opportunity to take advantage of their errors on the serve. They have two as well. UWM just has been unable to capitalize, and the Badgers have been able to maintain a 2 or 3 point lead.
There we go. The Badgers trying to keep this one alive here. Demi Morales jumping from the back, gets it over. Here's Golubowski setting it up for her teammates, and that one was a block by the combination of who else? Ellen Chapman, Haley Nelson. Those two really can do it all.
Again, Haley Nelson, only a freshman, but was seventh in the Big Ten in blocks, again 1.1%. And then you've got Ellen Chapman, who leads the team in kills, but she's certainly a player, the tallest player in the Badgers, is capable of playing at the net on defense as well. And you said it, that's a strong tandem on our near side that got the job done for the previous point for Wisconsin.
Mayana Reese getting the point on that one, a very nice job earning the point there. And now up to the service line is Maddie Schmitz. But it's handled easily by Morales, able to get set up by Carlini, and 1, 2, 3, tic-tac-toe. Courtney Thomas sends that one home.
There was a little bit of heat behind that one there for Courtney Thomas. It was just a beautiful set that set her up perfectly. Arm was already in motion, was able to finish it right down the court. Nice job by the Badgers. You said it, being right in system, make it look easy, 1, 2, 3.
And Taylor Morey subbing into this one. Taylor Morey actually the only Badger with any tournament experience. She is a transfer from Notre Dame. And Kelly Sheffield, in his press conference earlier in the week, as the point goes to UWM there, he was asked if he thought that inexperience was going to factor into the results at all, and he said he wasn't worried about it. He didn't think that was going to play too much of a role. He did cite that they already had Taylor Morey. He himself has a lot of NCAA tournament experience, but mainly you have a team that may be very young, but they are mature. They have grown together and played a lot better as a team, and it's showing so far in this one.
And you have to give a lot of credit to Taylor Morey. Again, the transfer from Notre Dame was actually the libero for several matches earlier this season for the Badgers when Emery Hickey was struggling with an ankle injury and was trying to work her way back into the lineup. And Morey really hasn't complained that she's no longer the libero and has really just stepped up and been a strong player off the bench for Wisconsin and still can bring that NCAA experience to this team.
A little back and forth right there. Demi Morales setting up Carlini, setting up Morales, and Morales puts it home. Great passing by those two.
Really a critical moment here for UWM. Down 5, and as I say that, they get a little bit of a break here. You don't want to fall down by more than 5 to the Badgers because they're such an aggressive team. They can take advantage of being ahead and can be a little bit more aggressive because they can afford to lose a point or two like Emery Hickey just did, trying to be a little aggressive on the serve. So for Milwaukee, dodging a bullet there, need to try and keep this one closer than about 4 or 5 points.
Taylor Golubowski on the serve there, but the Wisconsin Badgers getting the point, and now they're going to send Courtney Thomas to the service line. She has 24 service aces to her credit already. That is good enough for third on this team. And a whistle has been blown. The horn is sounded, and the side official is talking to both coaches and now the up ref, and it looks like they've gotten everything straightened out, and we're back to volleyball as Courtney Thomas on the serve here. And Dominique Thompson, a nice little block there, a very big hit, and it was hit so hard it had a crazy side spin on it that found its way back to the Panthers side of the net, and a point for the Badgers. They are now up 6.
Right now, Wisconsin's just the better team at the net. Going back to the game we just saw before this one between UNC and Cal, it was obvious that Cal was the stronger team at the net, especially when it came to blocks, especially on kill attempts from the other side. It's really been the same case here. Nothing against UWM, but really the Badgers have risen to the occasion, especially at the net, and as a result have a strong lead here in the second set.
That last one was tipped by a Badger, so UWM gets the point, but Wisconsin responds right back. Demi Morales flying and getting the point, and now she will be at the service line. And Scott, you already mentioned this earlier in the broadcast. Demi Morales really exemplifies that aggressive style, and there's going to be a timeout here, so we'll see that when we come back. The Wisconsin Badgers leading by 6 here on the Big Ten Network. Morales.
She might be the shortest hitter in the Big Ten, but she uses her 32-inch vertical there to just drive it against the block of UWM. They couldn't handle it. Nice point by Morales. Again, she might be the shortest hitter in the Big Ten, but you certainly wouldn't think that based on her numbers she's been able to put up this season. A very pleasant surprise for Kelly Sheffield. Really, Morales struggled in her first 2 seasons with the Badgers. Now has 7 times more kills in her first 2 seasons combined here this season. She's really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, she has really grown in this Badger program, and they are so glad she has, and that one is going to be another point for the Wisconsin Badgers. The bench getting really excited now as they can sense this second set is within reach. Demi Morales back to the service line. She gets that big running start, and down a little bit of a side spin there. And another block, just about an identical play from the last one. And who else? That was Ellen Chapman getting another point for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Just looking at UWM's reactions after each point, especially by the Badgers, but even on their own, just don't have the same energy they had coming into this one. Another ace here by the Badgers. UWM came in and certainly deserved the right to be in the NCAA tournament, that's for sure, and they certainly thought they could win this one, and they had certainly a great chance. If you're in the NCAA tournament, you know, anything can happen. Just look at March Madness for basketball. Credit to the Wisconsin Badgers, though, getting ahead early in each set. One of my keys to the game, getting ahead early, and really just playing strong, starting with the serves and finishing at the net.
Tori Blake, another true freshman for the Wisconsin Badgers, subbing into this game for Dominique Thompson. And UWM gets the point there. It is now going to be Maisie Mulvey on the serve.
Blake graduated early and joined the Badgers last spring, so she was very excited to be a part of this Badger squad, and it's got to feel good for her playing in an NCAA tournament game, getting the serve.
She comes in and immediately gets a kill. She will be subbed right back out for, but talk about a productive play. Comes in, gets a kill, gets a high five from the coach. A great job by the freshman getting her feet wet here in the NCAA tournament. Now KT Kavas, the one that subbed in for Blake at the service line. That one just popped over, and a couple of punches just to keep the ball in the air, and it's a free ball over for the Panthers, and it's blocked by Carlini, but the Panthers able to handle it. Now Carlini with a quick set down the middle to Haley Nelson, and the 2 freshmen connect. The Wisconsin Badgers now just 2 points away from a second set victory.
Now, Haley Nelson, again, just a freshman, is known for her blocks, but is even better in the Big Ten, 6th to be exact in hitting percentage. She hits .326. So when she gets a hand on the ball, she can be very dangerous. We saw it on the previous point for Wisconsin.
That was Nicole Latzig just floating that one over and getting the point for Milwaukee. She will now be on the serve.
Talking about players that can hit very well, Latzig hit .450 in the Horizon League Championship against Valparaiso, so she knows how to get the job done as well when the ball hits her hand.
Ellen Chapman making her presence known.
Right down the avenue.
Wisconsin Badgers right down the avenue, 1 point away from stealing this second set. Lauren Carlini serving, and that one was another mishandle. UWM has to just send it over. There's Carlini, there's Nelson, there's your set. The Wisconsin Badgers now up 2-0. We're going to step away, but when we come back, the third set here in Madison, the Wisconsin Badgers leading 2-0. Welcome back to Madison, Wisconsin, and the first round of the NCAA tournament. I'm Matt Stone. Sitting next to me is my broadcast partner, Scott Memel. And Scott, coming into this game, comparing these two teams statistically, they were identical in just about every category, but so far after two sets, that has not been the case.
You said it. Just looking at a couple stats real quick and focusing on two. 25 kills to 18 for the Badgers, 9 blocks to 0 for the Badgers. But the two to look at specifically, 7 receiving errors to none. UWM really struggling with the aggressive serving by the Badgers. It's been keeping them out of system, and they just haven't been able to recover. The other key stat to look at, the Badgers are hitting .451. That's their hitting percentage. Only .085 for UWM. It's been a struggle for them thus far, and that goes back to one of my keys to the game. Wisconsin needs to be aggressive but avoid the errors. They've done that. Wisconsin is 22-4 when hitting a higher percentage than their opponents. That's easily the case today. They're also 18-0 when their opponent hits under 200 again. That's been the case so far.
The Wisconsin Badgers getting the first point of this third set. Lauren Carlini back at the service line. And the starters are out on the floor for both teams. For the Badgers, it's Carlini, Thomas, Hickey, Morales, Nelson, Thompson, and Chapman. And for the Panthers, it is Mulvey, Golubowski, Price, Latzig, Newberg, and Kolinsky.
Another nice kill there by Ellen Chapman, set up by who else? Lauren Carlini. We've heard that a lot today, but the Badgers certainly are staying in system and playing to their strengths all evening.
Carlini, her 24th assist of the match so far, and that one is sent back. Newberger in on the block assist. Joining her was Maggie Dunbar, who now subs out of this one, and Maddie Schmitz is coming in.
Rachel Newberger really trying to pump up her squad here. Yes, they're down 2-0, but still have a chance in this one. It's the NCAA tournament. You never know what can happen. For UWM, keep playing. It all starts with their senior leader in Newberger.
There's Reese just popping that one over the arms of the Wisconsin blockers. Badgers handle it easy. Here's Reese again. That one a little bit more pop on it. Anne-Marie Hickey, no problem digging that one out. Ellen Chapman finding the hole. Scott, she does so many things up in the air well. She can put a lot of heat on it. There you just find the finesse play. Finding the hole in the zone. It drops, and the Wisconsin Badgers out to a quick 3-1 lead here in the third set.
You said it, the tallest player for Wisconsin. She's listed at 6'4", and a junior, so in the absence of really a senior leader besides Anne-Marie Hickey, that's really been Ellen Chapman's role throughout the season as well. Her and Courtney Thomas, I would say, have combined for one of those upperclassmen leadership positions. But ultimately for Ellen Chapman, you said it. Using her 6'4" frame can put a lot of heat behind the ball, but also can do some finesse as well, and that's very important in women's volleyball.
Taylor Morey subbing into this one for the serve. A floater over the net, and UWM says no problem. That one is Rachel Newberger on the kill.
And looking back to the previous two sets, there were only 2 lead changes in the first set, no lead changes in the second set. So ultimately for UWM, we talked about it earlier, but try and stay within, if you can, 2 or 3 points at the very least of Wisconsin. Don't let them become more aggressive. It'll hurt you a lot, just like we saw there with a strong kill down the far side.
Demi Morales skying over the defense on that one. Maddie Schmitz, the 5'4" freshman out of Kimberly, Wisconsin, just too hot to handle to get her arms on that one. The Wisconsin Badgers now up 2 with Anne-Marie Hickey at the service line. Here's Hickey popping that one up for Carlini. A quick set to Dominique Thompson, and that is a 1-2 punch that we have seen so much this season, Scott. Carlini to Thompson usually ends in points.
You said it, Carlini to Chapman usually ends in points. Carlini to Nelson usually ends in points. It's a testament to what the #1 recruit in the nation's been able to do. Now the freshman player of the year for the Big Ten. Carlini having herself a fine season. Really the offense starts and ends with her. And the fact that she's been able to be so strong again, watching a lot of film to get better, has really helped this offense stay in sync, stay in system, and it's keeping the Panthers, on the other hand, out of system and completely on their toes.
The Wisconsin Badgers, such a balanced attack. They have 5 players who have over 2.4 kills per set, and that is why they are such a dangerous team to play, because there isn't one player you can really key on. I mean, you can say Lauren Carlini is that player, but as a setter, she does such a great job distributing it to all of her other teammates that they are a tough team to stop when they get the ball rolling.
And for both these squads, because they're so young, they both have a lot of depth that will be here for the future. So whether you're a Panther fan or a Badger fan, certainly a lot of good things in the future for both these squads. Simply tonight, the Badgers have so far been the better team and now trying to pull away here in the third set. But both these squads have a bright future, a lot of young players making an impact so far.
Coach Susie Johnson needing a timeout. We'll take one as well, but when we come back, more third set action here in Madison. Welcome back to Madison. Coach Susie Johnson of the UWM Panthers taking that timeout to calm her team down. Scott, if you're Coach Johnson, you're in a tough spot. You're down 2-0. You're trailing early in this third one. What are you telling your team?
Well, it's a young team. So what I would tell them is, keep your head up. You had a great season. You won the Horizon League once again. You won the Horizon League tournament. You had a great season. You might be down here. Things may not be going your well, but keep playing strong. Keep building your confidence. It can only help you down the way. This is the NCAA tournament. The Badgers were obviously heavily favored in this one. UWM has only played 2 ranked opponents all year, one of which was the Badgers, who were ranked number 25. So it was going to be a tough battle for UWM no matter what. For them, just keep playing strong in this third set. Keep your head up. You had a great season. Keep it going as much as you can.
And Mayana Reese, with another one that she just couldn't quite handle. There we go, UWM getting back into this one, grabbing the point there, down just 9-4. But Scott, you mentioned it, this is a very young team that was put in a very tough spot, having to travel here to Madison to play a team that they already got beat by. I mean, this Madison team is very talented. There's no reason for the Panthers to hang their heads here, and you're seeing it. They're sticking around. They're trying their best here, but right now the Wisconsin Badger attack just too overwhelming.
And we have to mention, this is a rivalry game. Again, even if this isn't an NCAA tournament game, this is a great rivalry. I-94 is about 60, 70 miles between these two schools. So for Milwaukee to pull a tough draw of having to go on the road to one of your top rivals in the state, if not the nation, that's a tough thing to do. It's very difficult, even in the NCAA tournament, to face your rival with so much on the line and have to go on the road. I give them a lot of credit what they've been able to do thus far.
A great dig by Kayla Price on one end, but the Wisconsin Badger attack just too much there as they get another point. The lead is now extended 11-4 as Demi Morales remains at the service line. Again, starting way back, puts that top spin on there, and that's what happens every once in a while. It just got away from her, goes into the net. And the Wisconsin Badgers have committed their fair share of mistakes today. They have 6 errors from the service line, but when you have 6 service aces to go along with that, that is a stat that you can be a little bit more okay with if you're Coach Sheffield.
Especially when you have a large lead. We've talked about it, where UWM need to try and keep it close at all possible, because the bigger the lead gets, the more aggressive you can be if you are the Badgers, because you have points to work with. It's pretty simple. So because they've had these leads, they've been able to be more aggressive, especially on the serving side of things, and it's just kept UWM out of system. It's really a cycle that started really from the first points of this one from the field house.
Maisie Mulvey has subbed into this one, and she will now serve. That last kill by Hannah Blanchard got the assist from Taylor Golubowski, the libero on this team. Dominique Thompson set up by Carlini. A great dig right there by Price. Wisconsin able to handle the return. Here's Courtney Thomas on her set to Chapman. It's batted up in the air by the Panthers. Golubowski serving it up for the Panthers as well. And a nice rally we have going on here, and that one's also returned. There's Reese. Carlini able to get her second hit, and that one goes over the net. A little confusion on both sides, and we're still going here.
And this is great.
Wow, that was a tough one. Maisie Mulvey, a great job of just getting that one up in the air, hoping that one of her teammates could be on the end of it. But you said it, Scott. That was great. Can't ask for a whole lot more here in some tournament volleyball.
And that's why you love a rivalry in this case. It doesn't matter if it's the third set and the home team is up by 7 points. It doesn't matter. These two rivals will keep playing to the very end. That was a great rally by both sides. Ultimately, one team had to win. It turned out to be the Badgers. But credit to UWM. You said it. They're not going anywhere. But the Badgers, you saw it right there with a strong block at the net, Ellen Chapman. They've just been stronger at the net as well, and that's really been the difference thus far.
And we are going to step away on this timeout, but when we come back, more from this third set here in Madison. You're watching Big Ten Tournament Volleyball on the Big Ten Network. Here in Madison, it has been all Wisconsin today. The Badgers leading 2-0 and currently have a 13-6 lead over the University of Milwaukee Panthers. I'm Matt Stone. Sitting next to me is Scott Memel. KT Kavas at the service line for the Badgers.
You really got a service ace again. Just a free ball over by the Panthers. That's really plagued them in this one.
Carlini using her length on that one, able to sky over the net and just direct that one into a dead zone. UWM couldn't do anything about it, and the Badgers are extending their lead to 8.
And this really is no surprise for the Badgers defensively. Right now, UWM hitting around 110 on the evening. Wisconsin was second in the Big Ten, allowing opponent hitting percentage of .172. And, you know, they had a perfect record when they hit, they had a perfect record again, when the foe hit under 200. So, you know, that defense combined with a strong offense, even in a difficult Big Ten, really was a deciding factor for the Badgers. And that's been the case here so far. Played well defensively, first and foremost. That's allowed them to be aggressive at the service line, and it creates a cycle where UWM has been out of system in many situations.
Lauren Carlini now at the service line. All smiles on this Badger team. They are sensing that they are close to advancing here. Now the Wisconsin Badgers, as I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, appearing in the NCAA tournament for the 17th time. First time since 2007. So this team's certainly happy to be playing as well as they are.
And they certainly earned it. Tied for 4th in a difficult Big Ten. Credit to the Wisconsin Badgers. Credit to Kelly Sheffield. It's his first season at Wisconsin, but he knows how to have success at Albany and Dayton. He's really turning this team around. And you said it, for the first time since 2007, the Badgers are not only going to taste what it's like to play in the NCAA tournament, but they're on their way to getting a taste of victory as well.
Looking at these two teams' tournament resumes, the UWM Panthers in their 10th appearance as they get the point there. They've yet to win one. They are 0 of 9 right now in tournament games. As for the Wisconsin Badgers, they're 29-16 in their history. They've been here before. They've won here before. And the big thing for me, Scott, 14-1 in first-round matchups.
You said it, 14-1. That includes one bye as well. The Badgers came to play this evening, folks. Kelly Sheffield, no stranger to the NCAA tournament, really got his team prepared well. That's been obvious. They've been in system all day just like that. And again, it all starts with not only the coaching, but Lauren Carlini right at that net, setting up her teammates and getting the kills right down the middle of the court.
Ellen Chapman subbing out. In for her is Taylor Morey. It all seems so mechanical right now. It just seems like a well-oiled machine for the Badgers. They're just, everything is going right. It's a perfect dig off the serve, a nice set by Carlini, always seeming to lead to big points off of the finish, and then you tie in these blocks that the Badgers have been able to throw down. That one, a combination of Thomas and Nelson there, and what more could you ask for if you're Coach Sheffield? This team is coming out and showing why they earned that 12 seed.
It's cliche, but it really has been a complete performance by the Badgers. It starts at the serving line with aggressive serving that keeps the other team out of position. They're able to handle the net well, blocking and kills as well. And then strong setting by Carlini like she's done all season for the Badgers, again, only as a freshman. All aspects of the game right now are working for Wisconsin, and that's why they've really had not many troubles so far in this one. I still give a lot of credit to UWM. They've been put in a tough situation to face Wisconsin at home. But really, Wisconsin's just exerted their dominance here in this one, just in all facets of the game.
Mayana Reese hitting the line perfectly on that serve. She gets the ace. And the UWM Panthers trail just 8 now, 18-10.
And what was really great is, they're still down 8, but we're still fired up after the point. They're not hanging their heads low when they score a point. They're excited by it. They're working their way as much as they can into this one. Again, it's a great rivalry. They're not going away. That's a credit to Johnson. That's a credit to this young team. Keep playing until the end.
Look, this match may not be going the way that UWM had hoped it would go, but this team has no reason to hang their heads. They have had a wonderful season right now. You've already mentioned the regular season Horizon League Championship. Got the job done in the tournament, earning this automatic bid. This is a battle-tested Wisconsin Badger team. They have played many ranked opponents. This is only the 3rd time that they've played a ranked opponent all season long, have the Panthers, and one of the other ones was the Badgers. So this team, not all that experienced when it comes to top 25 action, but a young team, and there are bright things in the future for this Panther team.
You said it. They'll learn a lot from this one. They got a taste of the NCAA tournament. They're facing a strong team in the Badgers, again, tied 4th in the Big Ten. I mentioned it earlier, you just said it, both these teams very young, each team only losing 1 senior. There are bright futures for both these squads. I'm really excited to see where this rivalry goes in the next couple of years for both these squads.
Ellen Chapman and Haley Nelson taking a seat for the Badgers. Tori Blake and Taylor Morey coming into the game for the Badgers, and Demi Morales not cooling down whatsoever. She gets another point. The Wisconsin Badgers closing in just 4 points away from advancing to the 2nd round of this tournament.
And that's where they'll play California, who had a great performance against the number 15 ranked UNC Tar Heels. So it's going to be a great battle tomorrow between the Badgers and Cal. Really, we talked about it earlier, but what stuck out from the previous game here at the Fieldhouse was just the strong presence at the net by the Golden Bears. Wisconsin's been much the same way, strong at the net as well. I think we're in for a good one. Tune into the Big Ten Network, folks. Tomorrow could be a fun one between the Golden Bears and the Badgers.
I expect great things from the matchup tomorrow. Lauren Carlini getting another point there. The Badgers closing in now just 3 away. Here's Courtney Thomas at the service line. UWM waits for the return. And that one popped up in the air and just going to have to pass it to the teammates, and there is a point. That is Julie Kalinsky not giving up here as she gets another one. But the Wisconsin Badger lead is 10 and just 3 points left to go. The Panthers not giving an inch.
Nice job by Kalinsky. Just a hard hit right off the block of the Badgers. It sat right in the middle of the court. Again, Kalinsky leads the team in kills, also leads the Horizon League in that category as well. But the previous play pretty much defines how this has gone for UWM. Have a nice play by Kalinsky, but then a service error really ends any momentum they had going forward. Just haven't been able to work their way back into this one.
That serve goes errant, and a lot of smiles from a lot of Badgers, and even some of them from the UWM Panthers. They know that they have a bright future, but one player who is not smiling right now, Rachel Newberger on the bench. She realizes that her college career coming to an end, but what a great final season for her. She gets the Horizon League Player of the Year. She gets that all-conference bid. She has nothing to hang her head about. She has had a great season and a great send-off.
And she was such a great leader for this team, led the team in blocks and hitting percentage, but just beyond that, being that senior leader for this UWM team, you have to tip your cap to her. In much the same way you have to tip your cap to Emery Hickey on the other side of things for the Badgers, really the sole senior playing this season. Again, two young teams, but they each have a strong senior that's led them down the way, and it's really given both these teams confidence. Ultimately, one team had to prevail this evening, and it will be the Badgers, but a credit, again, to UWM, putting up a great fight, and it all starts, like you say, with Newberger, the senior.
It's got to be tough being the lone senior on a team. A lot is expected of you, and she has risen to the occasion. But the Wisconsin Badgers just getting the best of the Panthers today. They are 2 points away and now make that one. All the fans have risen to their feet here in the field house as they can sense they are close to advancing to the second round and a date with the California Golden Bears tomorrow. KT Kavas at the service line. Here it is. That's a good one. And cooled nicely. UWM isn't going anywhere. That was Reese getting the point there, and now they will have the serve, and it's going to be Nicole Latzig as Rachel Newberger subs back into this one.
Nice vision by Reese. Just went right off the arm of Haley Nelson. Here we go, folks. Match point.
Morales sets it up. That's Carlini. There's Chapman, and there is the match. The Wisconsin Badgers will be playing the California Golden Bears tomorrow. Make sure to tune in. The Badgers win it in straight sets. This third one going 25-15. A great performance by the Wisconsin Badgers as they did exactly what they needed to do in order to advance today.
A complete game in all aspects, at the net, at the service line, on defense. Credit to the Badgers. They played one of their best matches of the season when it mattered most in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Now they face those Golden Bears tomorrow. It'll be a great one, that's for sure.
I'm Matt Stone. Alongside of me is Scott Memel. We'll be here tomorrow. We hope you will too. For our producer, Jeff Bell, thank you very much for tuning in and watching Big Ten Volleyball here on the Big Ten Network.